The wedding hall glowed with golden lights, but my cruel mother's words stunned me. "You don't have a seat, serve the champagne," she ordered, shoving a tray into my hands. Humiliation burned as I carried it, my heavily pregnant body aching. Then a sharp pain, my water broke. Gasps filled the room, but before I could react, my sister's furious scream rang out, and she slapped me hard. My head snapped to the side, my skin stinging. The silence was suffocating, but what happened next was even worse, even more terrifying. "My name is Selena, and I am 29 years old. I work as a senior paramedic at Westbridge Medical Center, a career I pursued out of a deep passion for emergency care. I've always wanted to be on the front lines, helping people in their most critical moments, providing immediate care, and making a real difference in life or death situations. I am 8 months pregnant with my first child, a baby girl my husband and I have dreamed about for years. Every prenatal checkup has assured me that she is growing perfectly, and despite my large belly, I have remained calm and at peace. But today is different. Today is my younger sister's wedding, a grand occasion where I will see family members I rarely interact with. It should be a joyful day, but deep down, I feel uneasy. As I stand in front of the mirror making my final preparations, I hear my husband's voice from the hallway. "Selena, we should get going." My husband Ethan is a financial analyst at a reputable firm. He is soft-spoken but unwavering when it comes to protecting the people he loves. We have been married for 3 years, and our relationship is built on trust, understanding, and unconditional support. Ethan is one of the few people in my family who truly values my profession. As I adjust my dress one last time, memories from the past flood my mind, memories of the choices I made and the rift they created within my family. 10 years ago, my mother had insisted that I go to medical school to become a doctor, but I had chosen to become a paramedic instead. To her, it was an unforgivable mistake. "Why would you throw away the opportunity to be a doctor?" she had shouted. "You're wasting your intelligence." But my choice was never about intelligence. It was about being present in emergencies, offering direct care, and making an immediate impact. I never once regretted my decision. If anything, my years of experience have only proven that I made the right call. However, I never imagined that my career path would create a permanent divide between me and my family. My mother, Vivian, and my younger sister, Liana, saw me as nothing more than a disgrace, someone who had failed to uphold the family's high standards. My mother is the CEO of an elite interior design company, a woman who radiates power and influence. She is always immaculately dressed in designer brands, her hair and makeup flawless, her presence impossible to ignore. She believes that status and image are everything, and for her, having an eldest daughter who became just a paramedic was a humiliation she could never accept. She made sure I knew it, and so did Liana, who followed our mother's ideals perfectly. She became an executive in the family business, thriving in the world of high society while also maintaining a large social media following. Over the past few years, Liana has crafted a perfect family image online, posting glamorous pictures of luxurious vacations, high-end restaurants, and extravagant holiday gatherings. But in reality, our relationship is nothing but a shallow illusion. Even at family events, my mother showers Liana with love and admiration, while I am treated like I don't exist. So when the wedding invitation arrived, I hesitated. I didn't want to go, but in the end, I convinced myself that as a sister, I should be there. Ethan supported my decision. "We'll go together, you're not alone," he said. And now here we are. Ethan parks the car in front of the Windsor Grand Hotel, the lavish venue for my sister's wedding. The autumn air is crisp as I step out of the car, placing a protective hand over my belly. A soft movement from my baby reminds me that today is not just about my family's expectations, it's about my future as a mother. Taking a deep breath, I straighten my back and walk toward the entrance, hoping that today will pass without incident. As I step into the Windsor Grand Hotel, the sheer extravagance of the venue takes my breath away. The grand ballroom is nothing short of a dream. White and gold decor shimmers under the glow of crystal chandeliers, casting reflections like a starry sky. Fresh floral arrangements line the walls, adding a touch of elegance to the already breathtaking space. Tables are adorned with luxurious linens and perfectly arranged cutlery, each setting resembling a piece of art. Everything is flawlessly executed, exactly as my mother and sister would have wanted. Despite the dazzling decor, my steps falter for a moment. I remind myself to breathe. Ethan, sensing my hesitation, gently squeezes my hand, offering a reassuring nod. In the car earlier, he had told me more than once, "If you feel uncomfortable, just say the word, and we'll leave." But I can't, not yet. I won't ruin my sister's special day. I take a deep breath and force myself to move forward. The wedding isn't set to begin for another hour, yet the 300 invited guests are already filling the ballroom, mingling and exchanging pleasantries. I recognize several high-profile figures from my mother's business circles, design moguls, investors, and influential socialites, all dressed in exquisite formal wear. Some of them are even clients from my hospital, people I interact with in a professional setting. Women in sleek cocktail dresses glide across the room, their polished laughter blending with the soft classical music playing in the background. Near the entrance, I spot Lionna's bridesmaids, all wearing custom Vera Wang gowns. They stand together, their voices hushed as they steal glances in my direction. When they see me, I can tell they avoid making eye contact. They don't want to be associated with me, or maybe they fear that having an 8-month pregnant sister in the room will ruin the perfect aesthetic of the wedding. I suppress the sting of their silent judgment and keep walking. I scan the room, searching for my assigned seat. That's when I see her, Vivian. My mother stands at the far end of the ballroom, poised and elegant as ever in a custom-made beige silk dress designed to match the level of grandeur she believes she deserves. A Cartier necklace glints at her throat, a symbol of her success and status. She embodies power, perfection, and control, the very things that have defined her entire life. Taking a deep breath, I approach her. She turns just as I reach her, her eyes scanning me from head to toe. That same icy expression I remember from 10 years ago, the same look she gave me when I told her I was becoming a paramedic. A look that says, "You are a disappointment." I clear my throat. "Where is my seat?" She doesn't answer immediately. Instead, she lets the silence stretch as if my question isn't even worth acknowledging. Then, with a slow, deliberate voice, she finally speaks. "You don't have a seat." I blink, unsure if I heard her correctly. A slow smirk tugs at the corner of her lips as she tilts her head slightly. "You don't deserve one." My stomach tightens. I feel Ethan stiffen beside me. But before he can say anything, my mother gestures to a tray of champagne glasses resting on a nearby cart. "Here, take this." I stare at the tray, uncomprehending. "What?" I repeat, my voice barely above a whisper. Her smirk grows. "You heard me. Take this tray and serve the guests." A few nearby guests glance in our direction, sensing the tension. Some whisper behind their hands, while others pretend not to notice. I look down at my swollen belly, then back up at my mother. I open my mouth to argue, but before I can, another voice cuts through the air. "You can manage that much, even while pregnant, can't you?" I turn to see Lionna, standing a few feet away in her wedding gown. A breathtaking Vera Wang masterpiece designed to perfection, but her expression is nothing but pure cruelty. She lets out a soft chuckle as if this is all a joke to her. It's my special day, after all. Laughter ripples through the crowd. The humiliation sinks into my bones. I glance at Ethan, who looks furious, but I shake my head slightly. I don't want to cause a scene, not today. I inhale sharply, forcing back the lump in my throat. Then, with trembling hands, I reach for the tray. The glasses clink against one another as I lift it. My mother watches with satisfaction, while Lionna's smirk only deepens. As I turn and begin walking through the ballroom, serving champagne to the very guests I was supposed to be sitting with, I feel my cheeks burn with shame. Every step feels heavier than the last. Every whisper, every amused glance, cuts deeper. Then a sharp pain shoots through my abdomen. I freeze. A second later, a warm liquid trickles down my legs. My breath catches in my throat. No, 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 no. The tray wobbles in my grip as I feel another wave of pain, stronger this time. Gasps ripple through the crowd as people finally realize what is happening. My water has broken, right here, right in the middle of my sister's perfect wedding. I barely have time to process it before a sudden furious voice cuts through the air like a blade. What are you doing? I look up just in time to see Lyanna storming toward me, her face twisted in rage. You're ruining everything, she screams. Before I can react, before anyone can stop her, she slaps me hard. The sharp crack of the impact echoes through the ballroom. My head snaps to the side, my vision blurring for a split second. The tray slips from my hands, the champagne glasses crashing to the floor. The entire room goes silent. Then chaos erupts. The room falls into a stunned silence for a moment. I am frozen, my cheek burning from the force of Lyanna's slap. The sound of shattering glass echoes through the ballroom as the tray of champagne crashes to the floor. Golden liquid and broken shards scatter at my feet. I hear gasps, someone stifles a scream. Pain surges through my abdomen again, sharper this time. My body is telling me that my baby is coming right now. The whispers begin, hushed but frantic. Did she just slap her? She's pregnant. What is wrong with her? Oh my God, her water just broke. I feel dizzy, overwhelmed by the humiliation, the pain, and sheer disbelief that my own sister would strike me in front of hundreds of people. Then a familiar voice, steady and authoritative. Everyone, step back. I'm a doctor. I turn my head slightly and see Dr. Sarah Whitmore, one of the lead OB/GYNs from Westbridge Medical Center, rushing toward me. Her eyes are sharp with concern as she quickly assesses the situation. Selena, look at me, she says firmly, placing a hand on my shoulder. We need to get you to the hospital immediately. My breath is shallow. I can barely nod. The moment she speaks, a few other medical professionals in the crowd step forward, nurses, paramedics, and even a surgeon from my hospital. Meanwhile, Lyanna is still fuming. Her white gown flows around her as she points an accusatory finger at me. Her voice is shrill with rage. You did this on purpose, she screeches. You just had to make this about you. She takes another step toward me, her hands still curled into a fist, as if she wants to hit me again. But before she can, Ethan is there. His fury is unlike anything I've ever seen before. With one swift motion, he steps in front of me, shielding me from my sister's wrath. His voice is low, controlled, but laced with undeniable anger. Touch her again, and I swear, Lyanna, you will regret it. Lyanna freezes. I have never seen Ethan this furious, and from the flicker of hesitation in Lyanna's eyes, she hasn't either. Then another voice cuts through the tension. What in the world is going on here? My mother, Vivian, stands near the main table, her face pale with shock. For the first time, I see something other than calculated coldness in her expression. There is genuine panic, not for me, but for what this scene will do to her reputation. I can already see some guests recording everything on their phones. It happens fast. Some of the younger guests, likely ones who follow Lyanna online, are already uploading videos to social media. The sight of a pregnant woman being slapped at her sister's wedding is too shocking to ignore. In the background, the wedding staff scrambles to clean up the shattered glass, but it's too late. The damage is done, not just to the floor, but to Lyanna's flawless image. Security is called. The venue's manager arrives, a deep frown on his face as he speaks in hushed but firm tones to my mother. I don't hear the conversation, but I know what's happening. The Windsor Grand Hotel will not tolerate a scandal like this. Lyanna tries to argue. This is my wedding. She ruined it. But the manager cuts her off. Miss, We have multiple witnesses who saw you physically assault your sister, who is heavily pregnant. I strongly suggest you lower your voice. Lionna's mouth opens and closes, but no words come out. For once in her life, she has no control. The weight of what she's done is finally sinking in. The sharp wail of sirens breaks through the ballroom's tense atmosphere. The ambulance pulls up outside, and within moments, 2 paramedics rush inside with a stretcher. I recognize them. They work at Westbridge Medical Center, my hospital. One of them, a colleague I've worked with before, kneels beside me. Selena, we've got you. Let us get you to the hospital. Dr. Whitmore nods. She's in labor. We need to move her now. Ethan is already at my side, holding my hand. I take one last look at my mother. She doesn't meet my eyes. Her hands are gripping the sides of her dress, and for the first time in my life, I see uncertainty in her face. She knows this scandal will ruin them. Then I look at Lionna. Her perfect wedding is over, and she knows it. As I'm being wheeled out of the venue, I hear an officer's voice behind me. Miss Lionna, we need to speak with you. Multiple witnesses have confirmed that you assaulted your pregnant sister. We're going to need you to come with us. The weight of those words hits harder than any slap. Lionna's perfect life, her status, her influencer career, her spotless reputation, is about to crumble. I don't have the energy to turn back and watch, but I hear the gasps. I hear the voice of Ryan, Lionna's fiancé, muttering something about how he needs to reconsider things. Then I hear Lionna's panicked voice. No, you can't do this. It's my wedding. Do you know who I am? But it doesn't matter. Actions have consequences. I let out a deep breath as the paramedics will meet toward the ambulance. For the first time all night, I feel at peace. Because this isn't just an ending. This is the beginning of something better. The ambulance races through the city, its sirens cutting through the night as I lay on the stretcher, gripping Ethan's hand. The contractions are coming faster now, each one sharper than the last. Dr. Whitmore, who insisted on accompanying us, keeps checking my vitals. You're doing great, Selena. Just hold on, we're almost there. Ethan's eyes are filled with concern, but his grip on my hand remains strong. I'm right here. Just breathe, baby. I nod, trying to focus on my breathing, but the events of the night keep replaying in my head. My mother's cruel words, Lionna's slap, the gasps of the guests, the flashing cameras. For years, I had been the outsider in my own family, unworthy in their eyes simply because I had chosen a different path. But now, the entire world knew the truth, and Lionna, she was finally facing the consequences of her actions. I let out a shaky breath as the ambulance pulls into Westbridge Medical Center, my hospital, where I had spent years saving lives. Now, it's my turn to be the patient. The moment I'm wheeled into the delivery room, the pain becomes unbearable. Nurses and doctors rush around me, preparing for the delivery. Dr. Whitmore stands by my side, giving calm but firm instructions. Ethan never lets go of my hand. The next few hours blur into an intense mix of pain, exhaustion, and raw emotion. And then a piercing cry fills the room. The sound cuts through everything, bringing tears to my eyes. My baby girl. Dr. Whitmore lifts her up. Her voice is warm and gentle. She's here, Selena. Your daughter is here. I sob as they place her in my arms. She is tiny, warm, and perfect. Ethan's breath shudders as he presses a kiss to my forehead. She's beautiful. I stroke her soft skin, her tiny fingers curling around mine. Emma, her name is Emma. And as I hold her, feeling the steady rhythm of her breathing, I know everything that happened tonight led to this moment. The past no longer matters. I have my family now, my real family. The next morning, I wake up in my private hospital room. Emma is sleeping soundly beside me. Ethan is sitting on the chair near the bed, scrolling through his phone. His expression is unreadable. You need to see this, he says, holding the phone out to me. I take it, feeling a sense of unease, but as soon as I look at the screen, my breath catches. The video from the wedding has gone viral. It's everywhere: Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter. Millions of views, thousands of comments. People are furious. The clip shows everything: Lionna's arrogance, my mother's cruelty, the moment my water broke, and most importantly, the slap. One post shared by a guest at the wedding has over 2 million views, with a caption: "Bride slaps her pregnant sister at her wedding just because she stole the attention by going into labor. Disgusting." The comments are brutal. "This is beyond cruel. That woman is a monster. She should be in jail. This isn't just entitled behavior, it's abuse. Karma is coming for her." Ethan scrolls down to another headline from a news article. Social media cancels influencer Lionna Carlisle. Brand deals dropped overnight after wedding assault video goes viral. I blink in shock. Her brand deals? Ethan nods. She's losing everything. Lionna sponsors the same luxury brands she flaunted online. They've cut ties with her immediately. Her follower count is plummeting. The once picture-perfect influencer is now being dragged through every social media platform as an example of everything wrong with toxic, self-absorbed influencers. And then Ethan shows me another update. Ryan, her fiancé, has called off the wedding. Apparently, his family wants nothing to do with the scandal. Lionna's fairy tale life has shattered overnight. I exhale slowly. She built her life on image, status, and social media validation. And now the world has turned against her. It's not just Lionna facing backlash. My mother's company, Carlisle Luxe Interiors, is under fire as well. Customers are boycotting her business. Former employees are speaking out about her toxic management. Investors are pulling out. Within 6 months, her company collapses. Vivian's 30-year career crumbles, and just like that, the power and influence she worshipped for so long disappear. I hear rumors that she and Lionna moved to another city, trying to escape the public disgrace, but their reputations follow them everywhere. But the worst part? Neither of them ever apologizes. Not once. They blame me. They say I ruined their lives. But deep down, I know the truth. They did it to themselves. And I am finally free. A year passes. The autumn sun filters through the window of my new office at Westbridge Medical Center. I smile as I look at the photo on my desk. Emma's first birthday. She is beaming, her arms outstretched, surrounded by the people who truly love her. Ethan stands beside me in the picture, happiness radiating from his face. And in the background, my colleagues, nurses, doctors, paramedics, the people who stood by me when my own family didn't. They have become my family now. Vivian and Lionna taught me a lesson. Blood relations don't define family. Love does. Respect does. Loyalty does. Emma will grow up knowing that true happiness isn't about wealth, status, or appearances. It's about the people who stand by you when everything falls apart. As I hold her in my arms, watching her tiny fingers wrap around mine, I know this is the life I was meant to have. And for the first time in years, I smile. Because I have finally found peace. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and leave a comment with your thoughts. I'd love to hear what you think. Make sure to subscribe for more engaging and thought-provoking stories. Your support helps bring more content like this. Thank you for reading.